online crew. It is Helen here, your online crew captain, and we're talking about getting derailed today. So have you ever found yourself, well, I know you would because everybody does, but at some stage in your life or multiple times in your life, do you find yourself derailed a little bit because something comes at you, whether that's a family issue or something to do with friends and family or work or business or whatever, and you find yourself off track, and then you get all disappointed in yourself because you had all these goals and dreams and vision and all these things you're going to do, and you didn't get them done. And then you spend all this energy beating yourself up about all the things you didn't get done that you wanted to get done because you kind of got derailed because something came up. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I know, for most people, there are always hurdles in life, and those hurdles derail you from building your business. If you say that this has never ever happened to you, I would be wondering if that's the truth. And obviously I'm coming from a place of entrepreneurialism, like home-based business. That's what we talk about here. If we haven't met before, my name's Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain, which is just a bit of fun for our online crew community here of entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, those in sort of MLM, and you want to leverage social media and use the internet to build your business online. So that's predominantly what we talk about here. But at the beginning of the week, I always share something with you, what I call online crew courage, something to give you the courage to be that business owner that you want to be that entrepreneur that you want to be. Because let's face it, when we sort of look at derailment, if you've got traditional employment and you're an entrepreneur, and a lot of you would be, a lot of you have jobs and you're building a business on the side, like a side gig, building a business from home, those kind of things. Even if something comes up and derails you, I bet you still go to your job. Most people will. So depending what it is, obviously, but most people will keep up going to their job because they have to show up to get paid. But when it comes to our own businesses, for some reason, we're okay to kind of let that slide. So it's a real, it can be a real issue for people that are sort of building a business on the side. How do we keep that momentum? How do we keep that motivation going when life throws us a curveball? So I just want to have a quick chat about that today. It certainly happened to me. It happens to all of us. For some people, it just sort of happens around Christmas time and New Year when you allow yourself to just sort of relax a little bit more. And how do you get back into the momentum? How do you get back into the groove? So we're going to talk about that on today's live. So welcome. I just want to share with you a couple of things before I get into that content. Last week, I announced for you the top 15 of the video challenges. So I am interviewing the winner and the runner-up. So we're going to have Leslie Doughty and Beth Frederick on live with me on my last live video this week. So that's either Thursday or Friday, depending what time zone you're in. So for the US, Canada, it'll be sort of Thursday afternoon, evening, depending what time zone you're in. And for those in Australia, etc., it'll be Friday morning. So keep an eye out for that video challenge. Make sure you're in that live video to support our winner and the runner-up. We do have Clubhouse tomorrow. Now we're talking about vision boards tomorrow on Clubhouse. So if that's something that you've wondered about, ever curious as to do they work, do they not work, if you want to do one, how do you put one together? So make sure you join us on Clubhouse tomorrow. And then the next day, make sure you show up live with me because I'm going to share with you and announce our next challenge here in the online crew, and it's going to be a leads generating challenge. You're going to want to be on this challenge, so I'm going to share that with you in 2 days time on my live. So make sure that you jump on with me and listen to the details of that, because I think you'll find that really, really beneficial. So how are you? If you are here with me live, please say hello. If you see me looking up a bit from here, it's just because I'm on Facebook and YouTube and my group here, and I'm just on Instagram over here. So hi Instagram, how are you going? So how was everyone's weekend? Say hello. Let me know how you're going. We've got Cherie listening live. How are you, Cherie? We've got Dan on. Dolores, how are you? It's great to see you on. So lovely to see you guys here. So let's get into the content where we're talking about derailment, because it does happen. It doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just learning how to pivot when life gets in the way. This is what I find mentoring hundreds of students in this space. I find this is one of the major things that stops people in their tracks with their home-based businesses. Like whatever you're building as an entrepreneur, it's when life throws you a curveball and it takes you off track and you lose that momentum and you lose the motivation, and it's just a lot harder to get back on track than it actually is to get derailed. Does that make sense? So you can get pushed off your momentum and your motivation a lot quicker than it actually takes to get the motivation and the momentum back. So let's talk about why this happens. Okay. Firstly, for any of you, has this happened? Are there things happening in your life right now, or have they happened previously where it's just knocked you off course a little bit and you're finding it really hard to get back into the groove? Who's felt that before? I know I do December, January, because I love December, January. The reason for that for me is it's our school holidays. It's the last day officially of our school holidays, which has been almost 7 weeks that the kids have been off school. They go back tomorrow, but they're not actually going back because of COVID. So we've got all sorts of restrictions here. The year levels that the boys are in, they're not going back. So they're actually not going back to school. But I love it. December, January for me, it's summer. We get the jet ski out. We can go to the beach. It's just a really cool time. So I do less work, basically. Now, for me, I don't see that as a derailment. I accept that, but I still don't let anything slide. So how do I achieve that? How do I do that? Like this past weekend, I've done this for the last couple of years. The last weekend before the boys go back to school, we go to the city for a weekend and just have a hell of a lot of fun. Have a look at the photos on my personal profile if you haven't seen them as to what we got up to on the weekend. I still took my computer, and I've obviously got my phone on me, and I did their minimum, but there were still things I had to do, and I just planned for it, and I pivoted, and I got my computer out at night, just communicating that to the family. I've just got to do these couple of things, and I'll be done. So you just get done what you need to get done. Here's the downfall with being derailed with something. Having black and white thinking around this, that it's either all or it's nothing. How many of you are like that? Where it's either you're on your business or you're off your business, and you don't blend very well when something gets in the way. This is what I see a lot of people do in this industry, is that they get derailed and they just get off and they're not doing anything at all. Now, I spoke about this just recently, how micro habits, the little things that you do every day and like all the time, they are the things that are going to make you successful. They are the things those little micro habits that are going to actually set up the wins for you. It's not the all or nothing. So many people in this industry, home-based business, directors, etc., or nothing. They're all in and they go for a blitz on a week or two, and then they're nothing because life got in the way. And yet what's amazing is if those people still have a job, they still go to their job. So why do we do this to ourselves? Is because we're okay with letting ourselves down, unfortunately. You won't let other people down. You won't let your employer down. You won't let your family down. You'll still cook meals. You'll still probably clean the house, although it might not be done as efficiently as it normally does. Like, you'll still let everybody that you need to have what they need, but you let go of everything that's important to you. So we can't let this happen. How do we do this? You got to pivot really quickly is the first thing. When you recognize you're being derailed, when you recognize you're losing your momentum and your motivation, you've actually got to recognize that to be able to do anything about it. So self-awareness. And that's why I talk about these kind of things on my first video of every week, is that if you don't have a high level of awareness of the things that you need to improve or change, you can't. So the very first step in picking things up and being the best version of you that you could possibly be, and being the most efficient version of you that you could possibly be, to be the most successful version of you, whatever that looks like for you, you've got to have a high level of awareness of when you're letting yourself down. So you get derailed and you look after everybody else except yourself, and then you end up beating yourself up for all the things that you haven't done, then you're letting yourself down, and you just can't do that. Okay. The energy that this wastes is incredible. Have you ever felt that feeling where you know you should be doing some things, you get derailed, something derails you, so you're not doing the things you know you need to do, and then you spend all this time beating yourself up, feeling down on yourself, disappointed in yourself that you didn't do the things you know you needed to do. So not only have you not done the things you know you needed to do, now you're beating yourself up for the things that you know you needed to do that you haven't done. And you've wasted all that energy thinking about all the things you should have done. And now you're wasting a whole lot of energy worrying and stressing, obsessing, overthinking, and probably getting overwhelmed with all the things that you haven't done. You are on a vicious circle of overwhelm. Can anybody relate to that? I just want to check your comments here. Hello, Sandra. Good to see you on. Hello, Beth. Hello, Laurie. Great to see you here. Beth, yes, I feel that lots. Good to see you because you are superhuman. I'm not superhuman. I'm just more organized than a lot of people. And those of you in my coaching community, you have to attend your exclusive training with me this week on Trello and how I've implemented a new system in my life in the last 3 months, and it's working gangbusters. So just this last weekend where I went away with the family, we had an absolute ball. As I just told you, I took my computer with me, and there were a few things minimum I had to do, but I basically didn't work. And I actually do normally work on the weekends. I get things done. I plan for the next week. Like I love what I do. So it's not an impulse to me. It's not a chore. But this new system that I've implemented, just whenever anything comes in, I've got to do, it gets out, it's on my Trello board, whether I'm on my phone or my computer. I'm reorganizing and prioritizing every day at the end of every day. Like I'm so super organized now. I don't feel the overwhelm. So the overwhelm comes from a lot of things in your head that you're not getting down on paper. You're not organizing. You're not prioritizing. You are thinking. You are thinking about all the things you need to do. You're thinking of all the things that are coming at you at once. And you're probably obsessing on all the problems and the issues that are happening in the moment, rather than the solutions and prioritizing what you're going to do when. You need to shift your focus. And those of you in my coaching community, I'm going to help you do that this week on our exclusive training. So make sure you turn up to that training or you watch the replay. So the trick is being super organized. You just need to plan things out. You need to pivot and write things down. Micro habits will get you to where you want to go. Just it can't be all or nothing. So when you're feeling yourself derailed, you need to stop for one and recognize it, that you're getting derailed. And like, I'm so off track now. The house is a mess. The dishes are, piling up. The bills are everywhere. I just feel out of control at the moment. You need to stop and recognize that, because you can't rearrange and refocus and start planning unless you recognize that. So that's step one. And go, no, I'm not focusing on all my problems. Okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to put in place? What do I need to do when? If you can only look 7 days in advance, just do that. Bare minimum, if you can only look 24 hours in advance as to what you need to do the next day, just do that and sort yourself out from day to day to day to day. But you've got to get all the things that you need to do out of your head onto some kind of system. And then you need to keep yourself accountable to that, which is what the template Trello board that I'm going to give our coaching community members later in the week. It keeps you accountable to that. So the worst thing you can do is all or nothing when you get derailed. The best thing you can do is work out bare minimum when you're pivoting is to, okay, what do I absolutely need to have done and when am I going to do it? And you plan it all out and you stick to it. Minimizes the overwhelm. You'll, like every day, at the end of every day, it's like, yep, delete, I did that. Oh, okay, I didn't get that one done. I'm going to shift that to Wednesday. Every day, I'm moving and pivoting what I need to do, what I didn't get done. And it's such a sense of achievement. When you feel like you're achieving something, you'll get more momentum in what you're doing. But the success in dealing with all of this is just planning things out. So who's a good planner here that's listening live or on the replay? Would you consider yourself to be really good at planning, or would you consider yourself to let life run you? Because it's either one or the other. Either you are completely in control of your life and what you're doing and what you're achieving, or life is controlling you. Now, when people get derailed, they think they have no control. You have control in everything. Circumstances are always going to happen that are not necessarily good for you, but you still control how you handle that. And you can let things derail you. You can let things take control of you, or you can get back in the driver's seat and go, I'm in control here. It's not the best situation I'm dealing with. I don't like it, but I'm still in control here. So this is what I'm going to do. That's up to you. If you allow yourself to get derailed, you're not in control of your life, and you need to be, because something's always going to come at you, whether it's now, next week, next month, next year, in 2 years' time. There'll always be things thrown at you that derail you. Some of you have got really, really bad habits now that derail you all the time, that you are not dealing with. You are in control. So work out how you get back in the driver's seat and plan your days. Remember, coaching community, hold that thought until later in the week. But whatever works for you, like I just think Trello is amazing. And as I just said, I implemented something for myself 3 months ago, and it just works like a charm every day in what I'm achieving. And I've had a great January, and I haven't worked a lot because I don't like to. I like to be with my kids and school holidays, and I'm just a taxi. Does anyone have teenage kids where they want to go here, there, here, there, here, there, here, there, and everywhere? Anyway, I will move on. Laurie, that's me, all or nothing, and that's what you can't be. I'm going to intentionally concentrate on changing that. And that's where, you're not alone, Laurie, that's where most people sit. They're all or nothing, especially in this industry. Yet I know, Laurie, you're still going to your job every day. So you've let things derail you, but you're still going to your job every day, but you're letting your business slide. Isn't that interesting? And that's because we're okay to let ourselves down, because we're the only one responsible for that. But you're not going to let your employer down. Like, we need to treat our businesses like we are our own employer. Make sense? I learned today it's also how you look at your situation. This is happening to me versus, okay, so this is what I need to do. And that's exactly the mindset issue that people need to have a high level of awareness around. It's not, oh, all this is happening to me. It's like, okay, this is my circumstances. I don't like it, but this is the best way I'm going to deal with it, rather than, oh, this is happening and this is happening and it's all woe is me. It's total waste of energy, guys. Total waste of energy. Put your energy into solutions and learning on what you can do about things, rather than complaining about what's not going right for you, what's not happening in your business. That does not serve you in any way, shape, or form. But that's up to you. You can look at things in a really positive light and be a solution seeker, or you can absorb yourself and your problems and dwell on it. Which way do you want to live your life? Okay. When I'm from Ramona, when I'm more organized, I'm definitely more productive. Hands down, anybody, I will argue with anybody that says otherwise to what you just said there, Ramona. And I know that for myself when I'm super, super organized. And that's why I can't believe this new system that I've implemented for myself in the last 3 months. And I'm actually an organized person generally. But now I'm super organized and, laser focused, and it's incredible when you take some responsibility for where you're at and what you want to achieve. Like, I want to achieve bigger things in 2022, and I'm already putting that into place, but that's up to me. Okay. Beth, that's actually how I started walking. I just concentrated on one day. Then I concentrated on the next day, and now you'd be 260 something days, Beth, of walking. But she didn't start out thinking I'm going to walk X amount of hundreds of days. It's like, even the exercise, concentrate on what you can do today. 15 minutes of exercise is better than no minutes at all. That's the way you want to look at things. But most people are all or nothing, and it doesn't help you. I need to do that in other areas of my health. Absolutely. So recognize where it is, Harley. Just recognize the areas that you need to sort of focus on and just do something about it. For all of you, not just Beth. Unless I'm super focused on life controls me instead of the other way around. So the first step is what we're, Harley, I've got the door shut, so he can't get out to the hallway. Be there in a minute, buddy. As if you can understand me. That's the way. That's really what the crux of it is, Laurie, is that we are actually in the driver's seat, and most people think that they're not. Circumstances will always happen. Things will happen that you don't like. Circumstances will happen that maybe you can't control the circumstances, but you can control how you handle it. You control how you perceive it. You can control how you find the solutions for it. That's up to you, as it is to me with whatever's going on in my life. So my latest hiccup is my dad. Just a little personal. I'll just finish off with a little sharing something personal here. My dad's 89. He's sliding fast with dementia. So we have the same conversations within the same phone call about 5 times. He'll ask me a question, I'll answer it, and then straight away he'll ask me the same question. So it just doesn't retain anything, and he needs a higher level of care. Any of you involved in sort of aged care funding, paperwork, packages, government packages, phone calls, government departments, some of you will know what I'm talking about. It's a lot of time to try to get funding, to get a level of funding. Once you get the funding, you've got to get the services. Then, it's a lot of time. I'm dealing with that right now, which I don't normally deal with, but it's right in my face right now. It has been for the last few weeks. Last week, I actually just broke down and burst into tears and completely lost it and said to my husband, I'm losing my dad. Like he's losing it mentally. Like it's everybody's got something they're dealing with. You guys will never know. I'll still show up and do my lives. I'll still show up and do everything that I need to do for you guys because it's in my calendar. It's organized. That's the way you need to treat your business, whether you're showing up for somebody else or not. It's important. Your business is important. I'm sure you're doing your business not only for you, but your loved ones, your family, your husbands, your wives, your daughters, your grandkids. There would be a reason that you are building your home-based business. That's what's important. But I don't let that derail me. I could, but I don't emotionally. You won't see that. I'll do that in my private time and have a cry about it because everybody needs their outlet with their personal issues. But I'll still show up for you. I still do everything that I need to do. It just gets busier. And I just have more organized to deal with the things. Like anything is achievable. It doesn't make me superhuman. I'm taking control of what I need to deal with in my life, good and bad. Makes sense? So I'm not saying I've got it all figured out because I certainly don't, but I do the best that I can to control, this issue that I've got on the side, as well as do everything I need to do for my businesses and for you guys and the coaching community and challenges and all the rest. I'll still show up. It's just I don't let it derail me. I don't suddenly say I'm not turning up live anymore because I got to make some phone calls for my dad. Like it just doesn't happen that way. Like take control and don't let yourself down because that's basically what you're doing. You're just letting yourself down and you're not prioritizing your business. Okay, so it's not meant to be, that's kind of coming off as a little bit of a lecture. I don't mean to come across that way. I'm just trying to encourage you to really sort of get back in the driver's seat and realize that shit is always going to happen. It always is. But you are still in control of the things that you do and don't do, as far as your life, your happiness, your health, your finances. I shared this the other day. The money that you're making in your business right now, whether that's zero or whatever it is, it's basically equal to the value that you're worth. So there might be more that you need to put into business to get paid more. So have a think about those things as well. But planning, pivoting, you may be reducing your goals by a third because you've got all this other stuff to deal with because something is trying to derail you, personal health, whatever. Just pivot really quickly, but still be in the driver's seat, take control. And micro habits, it's what's going to make you successful. Just try not to have that all or nothing mentality. Okay, I hope that's helpful to somebody listening. I just know the difference. It's hard for me to share. I know the difference that it's making in my life and my business at the moment by being super, super organized with the Trello board. So whatever works for you. But just try not to be all or nothing. Just pivot, smaller goals, but get them done, be accountable to them, and just don't let things derail you completely that you just stop altogether. And then what I find with students like that, they start to believe their own excuses. It's just like, oh, well, this happened and happen, and hear the same excuses over and over and over again, week in, week out, month in, month out. And it's like, okay, now this is just an excuse because they're not taking control of their own time. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. I say that with absolute love. I'm just trying to give you some encouragement to take more control of your life so you can get what you want out of it and out of your business. Okay. So remember, we've got Clubhouse tomorrow. The next day, I'm going to announce the next challenge. It's a new challenge. I've never done it before, but I'm really excited about it. And I reckon you guys are going to love it. And it's going to be completely different to how I've run my other challenges. So watch out for that. And then the next day, I'll be interviewing Leslie Doughty and Beth Frederick on the winner and the runner-up of our recent video challenge. If you're ever wondering what's going on where, whatever, if you just go to helenmartinonline.com/events, then every week we update that link and it shares with you where I am and what I'm doing, and the links to Clubhouse and the links to the coaching community training, and everything's on that link, helenmartinonline.com/events. Okay. All right. I will catch you guys on Clubhouse tomorrow. And then the next day I will announce our new leads challenge. Okay. I'll catch you then. Bye.